Hello, everybody. Welcome to Memphis Sounds Lounge. Once again, we are here and excited about what we have available for you today. We have an amazing guest that I've known for a number of years. He's phenomenal in his work. He has an amazing craft. As a matter of fact, people around the world call him amazing. And I want to introduce you to the one and only Larry Walker.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you,
My,
thank you.
Larry,
I
Larry,
ain't scare
Larry.
you, did
Oh,
I? My name's not Larry, so you have to look at me.
no. Well, I'm glad to be here.
I'm just happy that we woke up this morning.
Oh, okay. I am too.
There you go.
I always wake up in the morning. I thank God for allowing me another day of being here with my wife and my children. That's the biggest blessing I can get.
Yes, and a lot of people know you as an artist, but you are a whole lot more than that.
That's what they
Uh,
say.
and uh, and you are great at what you're doing.
Well,
Uh,
thank you. I appreciate that.
but before we get into that, I want to go into, I guess, where you come from. I mean, did you grow up here in Memphis? How you get to where you are right now? Um,
Right.
let's go
Well,
through some of that.
I don't want to take you too far back, but I'll go as far back as I can in terms of when I was a kid. Um, I was one of those kids. I always liked to be doing something. I mean, just always doing something. And the other kids that I used to hang with, they like to hang around me because I'm gonna always figure out something to be doing. But when I went to Chicago Park School, I don't know how far. Like I said, that's how far back I can go. As
Yeah.
elementary school, man, that was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was always a giver, always wanted to do something to give back. Now, I'm talking about even as a kid.
Hmm.
So I planned a party for the students in my class. And so I talked two other guys into coming in with me on this party. And so what we did was we saved our allowance money and we saved all of our money that our parents gave us to buy a little knickknack stuff
Yeah.
during lunchtime.
Yeah.
So how much was that?
Well, it was a lot because we hid it in the classroom.
All
And
right.
so one day, one of the teachers saw me going back in the classroom and trying to figure out what's going on. Well, she saw the stash and she thought that we stole it because it was a lot of money and it was
Mm-hmm.
coins. And so, anyway, make the long
What
story,
grade was this?
I was in the third grade.
Third grade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Miss
Collecting
Moss.
money like a bank.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
kind of jobs were you doing in the third grade to make
No,
money?
no jobs. I just, my mama, my daddy would give me a little money to buy some potato chips or something like that during lunchtime.
Okay.
And before you know it, it accumulated up. And we were like getting ready for that big party because it was about ready to, end school for that year. And but when they found that money, they said, They checked with the cafeteria. The cafeteria said, well, we don't have any money missing. I don't know where you got that money from. And so they said, okay, where you get the money? And I wasn't supposed to tell them because it's supposed to be a surprise.
Right.
And so, of course, I had to tell them. And they couldn't understand it. They couldn't believe it. And so they split it among all three of us. But it wasn't quite fair because everybody put the same amount
Right,
in.
right, right, right.
But it was okay. It was
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
you didn't
anyway,
have the party?
no, we did not.
Oh
They would not
man.
allow me to do it.
Can we go back and
It would be
peel that
nice.
process?
Let's
It
call
would
out
be
some
nice.
names.
Yeah. Give me those teachers' names. We're gonna go knock on their doors if they're still around.
Well,
Well, look at the interest that built up from that. They owe you.
they do. They do. But yeah, my childhood. And what was really interesting, I always liked art, and
Yes.
I thought I would grow up one day and become a great art appreciator.
Yes.
So even though people probably say, "Oh no, you used to draw when you was a kid," yeah, but it was terrible, and so I still didn't think I was going to be an artist because
Right.
there was so many people who could do better than I. I
Yes.
mean, they could really draw, and I was like, "Oh man, you're great." So here it is, ninth grade. I'm gonna bring you up to that point. So here it is. I'm in the ninth grade, and that was
Okay.
the turning point in my life as it relates to art. they had a bookmarker contest. Ninth grade bookmarker
Okay,
contest.
yeah.
I
Just for
remember
my
those.
yeah, just
Mhm.
for my school.
Yes.
And so the art teacher said, look, like for everybody to enter the art contest, this is really big, you know, with the school, and we're going to do this. And so
Okay.
I'm like, wow, that's great. So I'm like really a teacher's pet. I'm passing out pencils and paper and stuff, you know. And so I'm telling these guys, look, you're really good. I think you're going to win. But then I go to the next kid and I say, hey, you're really good. You're going to win this contest. So, of
So
course,
you was using that reverse psychology at an early age, psyching everybody out.
well, like I said, I'm one of those kids that like to do things, and I
Yeah.
like to get other people involved in it.
Right.
And so it wasn't until maybe a week or two later the teacher said, okay, all right, I want everybody in here to enter this contest. So this is what I'm going to do. If you just enter,
Yes.
I'm going to bring your grade up one letter. Letter. I'm always getting a C because I'm a teacher's pet. I'm just passing out pencils and stuff. I'm not drawing anything. And so I'm thinking, hold up. This is an opportunity for my report card to look like I'm a real artist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get a B.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I sat down and I did something.
Right.
I'm sure it was terrible because I don't even remember what I did. But anyway, make the long story short, teacher says, okay, contest is over. We're going to be announcing the winners very soon. Well, they announced the winners. And I cannot believe it, but I won a place. What do you think I won?
Third.
You sure you wasn't in my class? I won third place, man. But you know what? I was so excited about winning third place. I don't even remember who won second or first. Because
Right.
when you hear your name, that's it.
Yeah.
Everything else is irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was so happy to have won that. But now you got to keep in mind I'm a kid. So they gave me a ribbon,
Okay.
third place ribbon,
Uh-huh.
and a candy bar. So I'm walking around with the ribbon like it was a medallion. It's around my neck
Yeah.
every day after that.
Uh-huh.
And then my candy bar, I walked around with it like it was a trophy. I mean, I was just too excited. And so at that point, now this is the thing about the power of belief, meaning you believe that you can do something.
Yes.
So at that point, it changed my life because I actually believed I could draw and I could paint. I just believed it. So here it is, month later, most kids, you get tired of hearing that. And so somebody wanted to bust my bubble and they said, hey, look, we're tired of hearing about this ribbon and candy bar you won because everybody in the school know the
Right.
number 3 people enter. Well, yeah, you might have thought, no, sir. No, sir. You ain't
Yeah.
busting my bubble.
Uh,
I was just too excited. But anyway, that was like the turning point for me. And I drew and painted something literally every day. I was doing some art every day.
yes.
And so I never knew about this 10,000 hour thing until later in life.
Right,
That if
yeah.
you put,
So are you saying that you weren't influenced by anything? I mean, any person? Or you were just
well,
it's
at
just
that
something that you
point,
did and that you didn't think you were
at
good
that
at?
point, I started noticing people who could draw. I had an uncle, his name was Sonny, and he did a deer that we always had in our living room. So, of course, my mother happened to tell me, your uncle did that picture of the deer. And I was like, oh, really? I was
Wow.
fascinated
Yeah.
because it was always in our living room.
Mhm.
And I never knew that he was the one that did it.
Mm.
So that was real exciting too. And so then my uncle Edward used to draw cartoon characters. And
Yes.
so I was always impressed with that as well, Marvel, superhero kind of thing.
Yes.
But like I said, I just kind of got inspired and I always found myself drawing. And so here I am in art school. I'm sorry, before we go to art school, I met a friend of mine named Wiley Henry. I don't know if you guys know, he works for Congressman Ford's office.
Yes.
But we went to art school together. And so and in case y'all heard something, that was my wife. You know, she's always with me.
I heard some squeak. It's some little squeaky noise. Sound like is it coin?
Absolutely. But him and I, when I met him, I mean, I was just really inspired by him because he was an artist. And I was probably his biggest fan. He probably didn't know that, but I was his biggest fan.
Wow.
He could draw. His parents let him paint on the walls. And I asked my mom if I could. No.
No. Not here.
Right. But I'm like, wow, this is so incredible.
Yeah.
The guy got Soul Train on his wall. And,
Really?
I mean, yeah. So I'm like, man, mama, you don't let me. No. So, but him and I would actually give each other art assignments. Now we're in a regular art class,
Mm-hmm.
but it, that just wasn't enough for me. And so we would give each other assignments. So every day he'd give me a picture to do, I'd give him a picture to do. And we would come in the next day and show each other what we've done. But for some reason, I was so obsessed with art at that point
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't even enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked it out with the art teacher where I could come back into the art class and and take another art class that was during my study hall period. So she got it approved by the principal. So of course, and then for whatever reason, that wasn't enough for me. And so my art teacher allowed me to come back during my lunch period
Yes.
and just kind of draw.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "Don't let nobody else in." I didn't let nobody else in. But for whatever reason, I don't know, I'm doing it all day, every day. It just never seemed like enough for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just developed a passion, and of course, from you telling these stories right here, you can feel the passion. But the passion has led all the way up to now, and
Yeah.
you're known for your portraits. Now, how did you get into doing the portraits of a variety of people?
Well, okay, so I used to draw pictures of pretty much anything and everything. But I think what changed in terms of portraits for me was that my senior class wanted to give a gift back to the school.
Mm-hmm.
And so and they probably don't even think about this, but that really made a changing point for me in terms of portraits. They asked me to do a portrait of our principal,
And which school was
Mr.
this?
Northside High School. And that
Class
was
of
Mr. 75, 1975.
Hey,
And his name was
Did y'all
Charles
have
Wood.
color paint back then, or was everything still in black and white?
No, no.
I'm joking.
somebody got jokes, you know.
but
It was a long time ago, but I was just wondering if they had color
like
back
t-
then. I'm
like TV.
well, let me just say this: my palette was very limited, so I didn't have a lot of colors to work with.
Yeah.
And I learned about what colors that you mix that could make another color, that kind of
Right,
stuff.
right.
Using your primary colors, make secondary colors. Well, but I did the portrait, and I mean, I saw the portrait years later. I didn't think about it at the time, but
Yeah.
it was too big for one. The head was too big. I mean, it wasn't out of proportion, but it was just too big on the canvas. And then, but like I said, that was like the turning point for me because my class really felt that it was something that they wanted me to do, and I was just really truly honored that we gave that as a gift.
Now, how many
Oh, and they
portraits?
paid me for it. I want you to know that.
They paid you for
yes,
it?
Really?
Yes.
Oh, no wonder you started then. They
Okay.
gonna pay you for it?
How much?
$60.
Oh, $60 back in the day.
Yeah, back in the
75,
day, man,
that's
I
pretty
was
good.
rolling.
You could have bought a
$60.
car.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Used car.
For a first time.
Well, I don't even know if you can get my signature now for $60.
Wait.
That's something right
Oh.
there. But yeah, because
I
I
was about to
always
ask for your autograph.
No,
That's
seriously.
That's
okay.
what I was thinking.
That's okay.
no, seriously. I go place and they be saying, "I need you to sign that." And I'm saying, giving away money. I'm like, every time I just sign, I'm just giving away money.
Yeah.
Supposed to pay me for my
60.
signature.
120.
Yeah.
$60 in 1975. What did you do with that $60?
I don't even know. but I'm sure it lasted a long time because I didn't spend much
Spend
money.
money. Yeah, yeah. How many portraits have you done since then? How many you think you've done?
Ooh,
5, 10,
I've done
100?
probably hundreds of paintings
Yeah,
and draw. I mean, when you collectively say portraits, I've done
yes.
a lot.
Whether it's family portraits or individual portraits. I
Well,
mean, you've done a lot of well-known people as well.
okay,
Uh,
so I'm gonna tell
so
you the one that I think uh, was also a turning point for me as an artist. You know, I used to work for Larry Shaw
yes.
with the Shaw Group, and Larry asked me, and this is, I guess you always have these pivotal points in your life.
Right.
But my experience with him was I'm doing these illustrations and stuff for him
Yeah.
because, of course, I'm a graphic artist. I went to art school for graphic arts. Um, and one day he said, "Hey, look, I'm just curious. Why did you major in graphic design?" And I said, "Well, because I knew that you could make a living uh, as a graphic designer like you." And he said something to me that kind of hurt my feelings, but at the same time, he built me back up.
Uh-huh.
He said, "Well, you went to art school how many years?" I said, "4." He said, "You wasted 4 years." Whoa, wasted 4 years. So I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Look, if you're good enough at anything, you can make a living at it."
Hmm.
He said, "You're good enough." Built me back up. Now, this is what I did. I said, "Okay, I'm trusting you. The fact that you said I'm good enough." I decided I was going to design my own artist brochure. Now,
Okay.
remember, I'm a graphic artist with art, so
Right.
I could
Hmm.
design my own stuff. So I designed my own artist brochure, and it was in black and white, because that's all I could afford at the time.
$60 was gone.
That $60 gone.
Okay.
So I listed on it charcoals, color pastels, and oil paintings.
Mhm.
So by doing that, it allowed people to know the different areas of portraits that they could get.
Right.
And so I want to think at that time, an oil painting was $450. So so anyway,
Oh, wait. For all of you here, you will not get this at
no,
$450 today,
no.
okay? That was way back when. You can put some zeros behind that 450 at this time if you want something from the amazing Larry Walker today, okay? But go
That's
ahead.
only because I have more experience and
Okay,
I can do a
yeah.
better job.
Very true, very true. But
Head
I just
still
want to
may be big
emphasize
though.
before people start calling him and saying, "I want one of those $450," no, you will not get it, okay? You will not get
Well,
You get your
so
granddaughter to do those 400.
oh, now my children are gifted.
Yeah.
I don't know about my grandchildren, but my children are gifted as artists. I just can't get them to do anything.
Put
I
enough
mean,
zeros behind it, you can get them to do anything.
I don't know. No, I don't think so. They've already told me no, and I accept no. But so I do this. I'm sorry. So Larry says to me, "Hey, I got a portrait assignment for you to do," and I go, "Okay." He said, "How much you want to charge?" I said, "Whatever I don't know, because I'm a young artist.
Right,
I'm
right.
fresh out of art
Yeah.
school and stuff." And so Larry said, "Okay, I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it." So next thing I know, he says, "Okay, you're going to do a portrait of A. Maceo Walker. The
Yes.
stockholders wants to give him a really nice gift, and I
Hmm.
think you could do that." Of course, he's building me up. I'm feeling
Yeah.
it. I'm feeling it. So what ends up happening? We hire a photographer to take the photos.
Wait, before you go to that,
Uh huh.
you say A. Maceo Walker. This is a global show, so can you explain who A. Maceo
Oh,
Walker
A.
is for you?
Maceo Walker at the time was the president of Universal Life Insurance Company. And at that time, Universal Life Insurance Company was one of the top three insurance companies in the country.
And
Yes.
that building is still standing where they
Yes,
were
it is.
It
at the
sure
corner
is.
of Danny Thomas and what is that?
Well, it used
G
to be Linden.
Lyndon, right?
But
Yeah.
now it's, I think,
It's something else now.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
MLK, ML King
Danny
Boulevard.
Thomas.
Yeah, right there. Do they call that ML King, Martin Luther King Jr.
Well,
Drive
I
on
think
that end?
that part of Lyndon has changed so many
Yeah,
times
it
Right,
has.
right.
that it's
But the building is still
still
there.
there.
Also, in regards to A. Maceo Walker, do you recall his worth, his value?
I do not. I just know he was
He
worth
was a million.
millions.
He was a millionaire.
He
Okay,
he was
he
worth,
was a millionaire.
well, I'm just saying the company was worth millions. Um, and I guess, yeah, he was a millionaire.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you something I used to like about him, because he could go anywhere. You know, most millionaires, they got bodyguards and all. Not Maceo Walker.
Right.
He could just walk around, just a regular
Yes,
guy.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
There's some other stories about him, but we'll get to that some other time on our show. But go ahead. You had some photos of him.
Right.
And
We had a photographer take photos, and uh, I like for people to sit for detail in a portrait, because if you sit for the detail, it will appear as if you sat for the whole portrait all the way through. If you ever notice, if a photographer takes a picture of you, if your nose is in focus, your ears are out of focus. You know, if your ears are in focus, your nose is out of focus. So
okay.
my eyes will automatically adjust if I'm looking at you. Zzz, 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 zzz. You know, they do
Yes.
it like almost like a computer.
Yes.
So
But better.
yes, I'm better than a computer. So
That's true.
no, I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I'm not ego tripping. I know.
Mhm.
So anyway, so what I remember about Mr. Walker was that they had to get him to come in and sit for detail, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. I said, "So how are we going to do that? He'll know that I'm doing a portrait of him." Well, at that time, I was extremely young. Well, like I said, I'm out of art school, but I couldn't grow any hair on my face.
Yes.
So I looked like a kid still, maybe in high school.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
matter of fact, I used to still pay like a kid in high school to catch the
Mm.
bus
Yeah.
because I looked so young then.
Hmm.
But anyway, so what uh, Larry Shaw told him was that there's this kid that wants to do a report on you, and he wants to do a portrait of you for his report. So they set a room up in
Yes.
Universal Life Insurance building where he could come in. He couldn't see the painting because he would be coming in through a door. And he would just sit there in the chair. So he sits there in the chair. I got everything already set up, and I just paint the portrait. So on the day that they unveiled the portrait, I was not there because I was really kind of still shy. But I was not there. So they paid me $6,500.
Ooh.
At that time, $6,500 to a little guy like me from North Memphis, New Chicago
Yes.
area, I thought I was rich.
What year was that?
That was in 1980,
Yeah.
81,
Hmm.
80 or
Hmm.
81.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, but I was
So what kind
excited.
of car did you buy with that?
No,
No car.
No, I didn't buy a car. I got my first apartment. Uh, I don't think I bought a car right off. I did buy a car, but I didn't buy it right
I
off.
mean, you
I
weren't
kind of
rich.
like this.
You couldn't get on MATA with $6,500.
Well, no, I did it still for a while because I could get away with
Right,
it.
right. Yeah.
But I didn't have a lot of. Well, I want to say I didn't have really any vices that most people have, drugs and drinking and gambling and none of that. So I just had money sitting up in the bank, just like I was when I was a
Yeah.
kid,
Uh-huh.
stashing away money for the big party.
Right. Yeah.
So but yeah, so then I think after I got paid, well, I think it was maybe a week later, I got called by Pet Castle and said Mr. Walker, Maceo Walker left uh, something here for you. So I said, oh, okay. So I come down there and it's in an envelope. And I'm thinking it's just a thank you card or note or
Yes.
something. So I open it up. It's a check for $500. And I went, oh, didn't nobody tell him that they paid me? You know?
Really?
So uh, Pat says, of course, he know,
Yeah.
that you got paid. So, I said, oh, okay, okay, I'll take this check. And it was cool. Extra money. And that was probably the biggest tip that I ever got. And now I got to change that because it wasn't the biggest tip I ever got.
Yeah.
That was the biggest tip then.
Uh-huh.
But just recently, I do these portraits of pastors now, the
Right.
visible portraits, the
Mm-hmm.
light art
Mm-hmm.
exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of the pastors who gave me the same amount tip as A. Maceo Walker,
Yes.
and that was Dr. Kenneth T. Whalum.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Gave me a tip.
Well, you say
Hey,
you
that's
went
right on
to
time.
you say you went to art school.
Yes.
Where was that?
Memphis College of Arts.
That's over by the park. That's in the park, correct?
Yeah, Ocean Park.
Yeah, but they've closed it down.
Right.
And so
Well, back then, how many black people were in art school?
when
Was
I
it
went
was
in
this something
there,
that was
it may have been 12 or 13. It
out
wasn't
of how many?
out of a school of 200 and something kids. Yeah.
So coming out of the north side, and you were going to art school, did you get some kind of resistance? Were you ridiculed? Like, what are you doing? Well, you
Well,
going do you think you JJ or something like that? Did they mess with you about going to art school and not playing basketball or doing whatever people were
well,
doing
I'll
then?
say this: when I went to parties and events, and I'm just saying how my neighborhood was. I was a little embarrassed to tell people I went to art school because it was art school, and so I would say I'm in college, but I wouldn't say I went to art school.
Yeah.
And so that's because, it was just a different time
Right.
then.
Yeah.
And so Memphis State, anywhere was better than art school, and especially if you want to talk to girls, you definitely want to say you're an artist. Uh, uh, can we take a break?
Yeah.
I got to run to the restroom.
Yeah.
I got a thing about coffee. I have to relieve it.
Well, that's all of us. If we're gonna drunk some,
Yeah, we had to call.
let us know when you're ready.
Well, they said they want.
All right. So, man, you have done some amazing things, and that's all part of history. That's what we like about this. Along with that, though, let me ask you this, because let's fast forward up into today.
Okay.
You have several entities that are going on.
Absolutely.
You have your annual event, and you also have your inventions, and you have a publication. So give us some information about that, and so people can know what things you have available.
Well, one thing most people don't realize is that I'm also an inventor. Now, I don't invent anything really amazing per se.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
But, every inventor is trying to solve a problem. Whether it's a big problem, small problem, it's still a problem. So one of the things that I notice is that, and most of my inventions are always something related to my children. So one of the things, kids uh, go to school and it never fails, but they would misplace their pencil sharpener. So of course I said, okay, I got to figure out a way to address that. And so I designed a wristwatch that is part watch and part pencil sharpener because I knew they would keep up with it. But then I said, but they're kids, so they're gonna want a little more pizzazz to it.
Yes.
So I designed it where it absorbs light during the daytime and it would glow at night. So that made it really neat.
Is it solar powered?
No.
Okay.
So when you say solar, there's a lot of ways you can do solar, but this is just it's got the fluorescent
Yes.
in the material that
Yes.
allows it to absorb sunlight. And so whenever you know how your parents used to say, look, when those street lights come on, get your butt in the house.
Yeah.
Well, now,
or at
like I
least
said,
on the
when you're
porch.
When
Yeah,
that
At least
wall
on the
start
porch.
glowing.
yes, you need to make it on in. So, but it's just little novelty stuff. So, but one of the inventions that we actually did produce, I've only got prototypes on that,
Yes.
but the one that we actually produced and we actually have on the market is called Paint Yourself Clean, which is a bath set for children. So, of course, me being an artist, I designed it where it looks like an artist paint set.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? So it's got 5 different colors. It's got real paint in it also.
Yeah.
So they can literally, well, it's body paint, but they can literally take the paint, with the paintbrush and everything and paint themselves.
Well, we have Malik here,
Okay.
who's about to
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is what it
Oh,
looks
that
like.
is
show us
it.
what it is.
Hey, this is on time.
This is it.
So
Yes.
We can get ready.
the power is in your hands to bring dreams to life.
That's it.
Paint yourself clean.
That is it.
And it
And so-
also comes with.
Oh, see,
You gotta
when
play
they
it.
do such a
You gotta
great
play it.
job, when they do such a great job, you want to give them an award. And so this is the I'm So Clean Award. Now, it's not just any award. This is a musical award.
Here we go.
Okay, that's enough.
Yes.
That's enough.
But you
Now
know
it's
what?
called
But you know what
paint.
that you know
I'm
what though?
not-
I know it's supposed to be for kids, but I'm sure there's some adults that probably want that for their spouses, for their mates to actually have.
Now, it's
So they
interesting
can
you
paint
said
themselves
that.
clean.
We are working on an adult version.
All right.
See, this doesn't have any fragrances in it because it's child friendly, but we're working on that adult version, and it's gonna be a little, maybe I'm not gonna call it X-rated, but it's gonna
It's
be
gonna
a
be
little.
paint yourself dirty. That's what it is. Let me work with you on that one. I would love to work with you on that.
No, don't let him work on
I-
it. Cause
I
he,
got some
he
ideas
gonna,
running in my head
he gonna put
right
some
now.
he gonna put some quarters in there. So don't
Hey.
do that.
Check a lane, check a lane. We can
But
make
this,
it work.
but this is our baby here, and
Amazing.
you can go online if someone wants to order one. PaintYourselfClean.com.
How much is this?
This is originally it's $74.95. However, if you get it during the month of my birthday, which is July, you can get this for $59.95. And it has, my wife will have to tell me, how many items is
12.
12 items in here to make this set complete.
Hey,
How long does it last?
Well, you can take up to 35 baths with one set. And then you don't have to
That's
buy a
not
set
bad.
anymore. You only buy refills.
and is the paint soap or what?
Well, we actually have body paint,
Mm-hmm.
2 different colors, and
Mhm.
then we have 5 different colors of soap. It's what we call clean color soaps. And so these are soaps.
Is this patented?
Yes.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Great.
Let me ask you this one thing, because I'm trying to think out of the box, because we're all men here. Does it stain my tub when I put this stuff in there?
No, sir. Because keep in mind, soap is a detergent.
Why are you worried about that? You already got that ring around it.
No, this is not a man question. This is actually a woman question. So I'm trying to bring the woman out.
Okay.
oh,
My
okay.
Does it
bad.
stain my back? What if my child try to put it in their mouth? It's gonna
Well, this
choke
is,
them out or
well, this is what I'll
rush
say.
them to the hospital?
Okay. Those are good questions. I recommend children don't eat soap. Okay. Just
Well,
don't,
you
just
know,
don't.
back in the day,
I recommend that
back
as
in the day,
well.
now, you
I
say
recommend
that,
that as well.
that special word, you had to stand there with that soap in your mouth.
Right. I recommend children not to eat soap. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah.
And of course, we do have paints, and they don't eat paint either.
Can you put the soap paint on your face?
Yes.
That's what it's about? Okay.
It's
Great, yeah.
non-toxic.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, well
And we can get this from where again?
PaintYourselfClean.com.
Is that the only place? This
Yes.
hadn't hit like Amazon or anything like
No,
that?
not yet. Nope, not yet. We're
Paint
working on
yourself
it.
clean.
We're working on it.
.com. Well, let me ask you a question.
So let me do this. Hey, you want to go to paintyourself.clean to actually paintyourselfclean.com. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Paintyourselfclean.com
I was going to
to
correct
actually
you.
get this. Yes. And so we're excited about you having this. I'm gonna have to get me some of these myself and actually have them for my family to have for sure.
We
Hold on.
also have this challenge here. I'm gonna hold this one up. Thank you. Thank you. This is the 5-star PYC Clean Challenge. What is this?
Oh, the PYC Clean Challenge. That is, well, this is really a hygiene development learning kit for children. And so it has 5 different areas of cleanliness. You know, wash your hands every day, brush your teeth, clean your room up. So it just deals with a lot of different areas of cleanliness. And so at the end of the challenge, it's a week-long challenge that will actually last a lifetime for children. Uh, but what it does is the parents have to check off the different things that the child does during the day. And so at the end of the week, when they finish, that's when they get the I'm So Clean award.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
That's neat.
And you'll
We
also
also need
know,
to make sure that the parents are clean too, because
uh,
Yeah.
but you'll also notice that in the back of it, it has 20 drawing sheets.
Uh,
20 drawing sheets. And the reason why it has those drawing sheets is because I'm an artist and I want to make sure children can express themselves artistically.
yes.
I'm not gonna show too much because you got some people out there that will steal your idea and you have to sue them,
Oh,
make some money.
Hopefully that's not the case. They just go ahead and purchase these items. And
absolutely.
so we got paintyourselfclean.com. Actually, people can actually get portraits done. All
Mhm.
right, they can get the artwork done. How do they get that?
Well, they have to go to my website for that,
Okay.
my direct website, and that's the amazingmrwalker.com.
Yes.
Amazingmrwalker.com. And that Mr. is just M-R, no dot,
Walker.
Walker.com.
Okay.
Is there a .com?
Dot com.
Yeah, there's a dot there though,
Yes, there's a dot
but
there.
not by the mister,
No,
but by the company.
absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
And this for years drives me crazy. You're an artist.
Mhm.
You know what art is. You see
Okay.
art here on the wall.
Okay.
Is it art when you see something that's just a block, just a square
Okay.
with lines through it and it's framed? Why is that art? Or why is art somebody can take 2 paintbrush,
Okay.
dip it in some paint, and just throw it around?
Okay.
Why is that art?
Okay. So
And why does that cost 6 figures?
now I can't get into the cost, but I can tell you why it's art.
Okay.
Because well, artists charge what they want to charge, depending on
Well,
how
why
they feel
would
about
somebody
their
be
art.
crazy enough to spend 6 figures on something that their grandkids can do?
Okay, so now I got to go back to tell you what art is. Okay, so you might say, I'm looking at this, I don't get nothing from it. Okay, somebody else walks up and they feel the energy.
Yes.
Remember now, art is just a reflection of emotional thoughts put onto canvas. So if you look at a work of art that, like you said, they just threw some stuff, and you're saying, "Wow, I could feel the energy." You see another painting that the artist has done, and that makes you calm, makes you cool. You could just, and so you're sitting there saying, "Man, I need to chill out. I got a lot of stress on me." But that particular painting calms me. I can feel it. You want to take that painting home
Yes.
because you want to be able to go home, feel relaxed. It's just one of those kind of pieces, and
Yes.
the colors that they used allow you to also feel calm, cool, stress free. That could be therapy for you. So I'm just saying, when you look at work, you got to look at how you feel about it. So that's what you're really buying. And
Yes.
and case in point, I did a piece called that was titled "Thirst for Life." That particular piece I did back when I was in art school. It was the only piece that I can ever remember that made me feel like, man, when I looked at it, it made me just feel like I could just do anything. Now, not just from an art standpoint, but I
Mm-hmm.
could do anything. Just made me
Mm-hmm.
feel really great and uplifting. Well, a lady came, it was during the senior year at the Memphis College of Arts, where we had to put up our senior show. And so I'm there with all these other artist stuff, art student stuff. And so somebody liked the piece. It's just a black and white charcoal that I did. And so a lady contacted me and said, my husband could not get away from that particular piece. And he's getting ready to retire, and I would love to buy that piece for him. And she said, "How much would you charge me for it?" Well, I remember the piece did a lot for me, so of course I put a price on it that I thought was unreasonable. Just being honest, I thought it was unreasonable. So I said $275. She said, "Oh, let me get back with you." I said, "Okay." So I'm figuring she's gone. That's cool. I can keep my paint. I mean, my drawing. She calls me the very next day and says, "Okay, so do I just make the check out to you or the school?" And I said, "Oh my
No, you said, "Damn, I should have charged $500."
God." Well, it was a toss. I mean, cause
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, $250. I mean, $75 was cool.
I played myself short.
But when I got the check, I was like, cool. I got
Yeah.
paid for this. Try to do it
Right,
again.
right.
I tried to do it again. It did not have the
Have the same.
same.
Yeah.
No.
Right, right, right.
And so now I felt really bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would wake up in the morning, I didn't feel that inspiration that like I could do anything. So I'm just going to say this. That was the only work of art that I called a client back and said, ma'am, can I buy that picture back from you? And she said, under no circumstances. And I said, I'm willing to pay you 300. I was willing to pay her extra. She said, under no circumstances. She said, he fell in love with that piece.
Yeah.
I could not get him away from it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he was just spellbound. So I understood because I knew what it did for me.
Yes.
So that's why I said when you looking at art, you got to look at what the viewer gets from it.
Yes.
You know. But yes, I wish I could have bought that piece back.
Well, that's amazing. But I wish we had more time to talk, man, because we have some things that we hadn't even covered yet. But
Yeah,
you know what?
Well, you can always bring me back. You can
We are
always bring
going
me
to
back.
invite
Yeah,
you back.
I have
We
some
want to
more
invite you
questions
back
about
because
what
we,
art really is.
we want to
you know.
invite you back to talk about your publication, talk about also your annual event, because I think that'll be something for everybody to know about.
Oh, most
We'll be
definitely.
sure to
IWA
share that
else,
information as well.
that
Oh,
Everybody,
yeah.
yes, and you should be able to look and see the links for all of that as well, to see where you can get in touch with uh,
The amazing Mr. Walker.
Mr. Walker,
Oh,
Larry
yeah. And I
Walker.
got to tell y'all, I mean, we can do this at the next one, but
Yeah.
I need to let you know how I came up with the amazing Mr. Walker title.
It was after you got married,
Mm,
and
It,
No,
no,
okay.
no,
It was
no,
before
no,
then.
no,
Oh, okay.
no. And that's why we're gonna have you back
yes, you
to
got to.
understand. I know the story as well, but I want everybody to understand it as well.
Okay.
How amazing this man is. Hey, all of you at home or wherever you're in your office or in your car, give a round of applause to the amazing Mr. Walker. Larry Walker, thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having
Everybody here,
Go get some paint yourself clean.
hey, child or adult, paintyourselfclean.com because you
Paint
know you
yourself
need
dirty coming out soon.
it.
Not too dirty.
We gonna get dirty.
No, you gonna get dirty.
Dirty. Dirty, dirty.
It's coming soon.
It's called Dirty South for a reason.
Thank you again.